Welcome to Tell It to Trevor, guys. I'm your host, Trevor Shelley, and today in my podcast I have let you give yourself your own introduction.
Sweet as tea, Mindy Grace from a small little town in Kansas. So,
I mean, that is around here for me. That's basically a small town, I would say.
yeah.
What sparked your interest in the professional wrestling industry?
So, when I was younger, I wasn't too much into wrestling just because I was one of those people who thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Uh, but it wasn't until I met my fiance, Chance Kerrigan, who also wrestles. Uh, he got me back into it, and then he started training, and then I didn't have anything to do because I'm into horses and everything like that, and they weren't nearby. So I needed to find something else to do. And our trainer was like, "Hey, kid, you want to get in here and do some bumps?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And here we are about two, 2.5, 3 years later.
Okay. Who were the wrestlers that you idolized as a kid?
Uh, well, since I didn't get to watch it much as a kid, like right now, I did watch a little bit of Mickey James. I had her finisher for a while, and then uh, Rhea Ripley is one of my favorites right now. I love her. uh, but also smaller wrestlers like Alexa Bliss. I'm so happy that she's back, and also Liv
Mhm.
Morgan as well.
How did you get your start in the wrestling world?
Uh, my fiance. When we started dating, we both gave ourselves or told each other our goals, and he said that he wanted to become a professional wrestler, and I wanted to join the military. And once I did that, and he started training, it just became a hobby.
What was your first wrestling match like?
Nerve wracking. Uh, I went against Skylar Slice. She is out of Oklahoma, uh, and her and her husband run Core Wrestling in Oklahoma. Um, but it was definitely an adrenaline rush and nerve wracking just because it was my first show in front of a crowd.
Yeah. Um, what are your goals for the future in the wrestling business?
Um, Honestly, I'm going with the flow. Uh, I've already had two women's championships. My first one that I got was just last year uh, with Unified Wrestling in Oklahoma. And then I'm also the HCW Sunflower Champion here in Wichita, Kansas.
Can you describe your wrestling character or persona for someone that has not seen you wrestle or for the fans in other countries?
So Mindy Grace is a small town uh, country living. She spent she spent her whole life living in the country around horses, chickens, all sorts of farm animals, and she just wants um, to make the best for herself and show that uh, you can do anything if you set your mind to it, for sure. And yeah, she's got a little twang to her, but she may be a little bit of a badass as well.
Can you share a memorable moment from your wrestling career so far?
uh, a memorable moment. I would say, um, oh goodness. I feel like there's so many, honestly. uh, Having a really good match with Noel Summit. The night that I won the HTW Sunflower Championship, uh, our match just felt really smooth and everything just went well together. And uh, yeah, another memorable moment. I did get proposed to in the ring after my main event match. But yeah, they were both fun. Both matches went really smooth, and it was awesome having that uh, moment in the ring.
Can you describe the feeling of winning your first championship?
Uh, Accomplished for sure. When I was told that they were going to put the title on me, I was like, "Are you sure about this?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, we're sure. You've put in the work." And uh, I actually won that championship to from someone who had had it for 2 years prior, and she
Okay.
had went undefeated, so it felt awesome.
How do you handle the mental and emotional aspects of wrestling?
Mentally, like it's definitely a challenge because you can have mental blocks with remembering some of the moves or some of the spots that you want to get, and emotionally, like it's a whirlwind of emotions because with with every character comes a different set of emotions, but at the end of the day, it's like you can either love your match or you can either hate your match. It just depends on how you take it.
All right, so we're gonna start this segment called Trev Shuck. It is like when you're in those business meetings and they got those rapid fire questions.
Oh boy.
So mine is you have 6 questions and you have to answer them in 50 seconds.
Woo. All right. Say
Your
50
most,
seconds.
yeah, 50 seconds. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Favorite pre-show snack?
Cliff Bar, chocolate chip Cliff Bar.
Pre-show song?
Uh, Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman.
Favorite wrestler growing up?
Mickey James,
Favorite sports team?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Favorite color?
Blue,
Favorite type of music?
country.
So you beat it with 19 seconds remaining. So
What was that?
you beat it with 19 seconds remaining.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Um, what are the biggest challenges of being a professional wrestler outside of the ring?
Um, if fans see you on the outside, like, it's a little hard to stay in character, but also at the same time, like, you want them to still like you, uh, and love your character. It's like, it's nice to have them know, like, who you are on the outside, but you always want to keep that character up and gimmick and everything.
How do you feel about the business side of wrestling and how promotions shape the storylines?
Uh, Honestly, I haven't been in too many promotions where they've created a storyline other than uh, Unified Wrestling and Heartland Championship Wrestling. Um, Heartland Championship Wrestling is ran by my trainer, Billy Simmons. And he does the best job with creating the storylines. Um, I think what he has set up now between uh, the Midwest Monster Blade and My Fiance Chase Kerrigan, uh, they have a feud going on right now, and I've even gotten in the middle of it and have taken a bloodbath
Okay.
after one of my matches. So he does a really good job. And then I did have my feud a little bit with Nova Phoenix, who I took the uh, Unified Women's Champion title off of last year.
If you could wrestle a legend wrestler from the past, who would you wrestle and why?
Hmm, from the past. Um, I'm saying Mickey James a lot, but I just feel like her character back
Yeah,
then would be so fun, and I think she would bring a great experience uh, into a match. So I would definitely go with her, or maybe, oh shoot, I'm blanking on names. Yeah, we'll just stick with that. I'm blanking on names right now.
if you could attend a wrestling seminar session with any wrestler, who would you pick?
Ooh. Um, I think I would choose The Undertaker. I know he's doing stuff with LFG right now,
Yeah,
but I think just with his experience, I feel it would be really cool to get intake from him.
yeah. If you could have a wrestling legend as your mentor, who would you choose?
How far is a legend? Like,
Like I want to say either like retired or have been in the business for a good bit.
hmm, oh goodness. You know what? I'm gonna go with either Brie or Nikki Bella.
Okay. What is your opinion on the wrestling crossover events with other sports or entertainment industries?
Like,
Like how they're bringing in the actors or the athletes?
oh, um, I think if it's with athletes, then I think a crossover is great because they already have that athleticism, and I think they can pick up on stuff super easily. Um, Social media characters, I don't know too much about. Like, I'm not a huge Logan Paul fan, so I don't know. He does great. He puts in the work, but also at the same time, it's just like, not a big fan of him.
Um, what advice would you give to an aspiring wrestler?
um, oh my goodness. If you put your mind to something, then you can do it. My father has always told me that. Um, Anything you can think of, you can do. You just got to work towards it. And you can't do anything uh, by second guessing. It's like if you second guess yourself, then you're not going to do it. You just got to go in head first.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Can you talk about a significant rivalry you had and how it helped you grow as a wrestler?
Hmm. I feel like I'm still growing as a wrestler just because I haven't been in as long as others. But Stormy Renee, uh, she trained before me, but I've gone in the ring with her so many times, and I feel like she helps me learn. Uh, oh goodness, Uh, she helps me pick up on stuff for sure to get me through the emotional and physical pain of wrestling.
What was it like working with a particular wrestler that you clicked with in the ring?
So much fun. I Heidi Howitzer, she wrestles all over. Um, our chemistry in the ring is so much fun. I love having matches with her, and she she's fun on the outside as well, outside the ring, outside of wrestling. It's just we click so well together.
Okay. Can you describe your training process and what was the most challenging part of learning to be a wrestler?
Um, I think the most challenging part was um actually remembering some of the basics of wrestling. Because I was super green. I wasn't familiar with wrestling at all. And when I joined the military, I had actually started before I went off to basic training for a few months. And then I was gone for 2.5 to 3 months after learning some of the stuff, and having to
Yeah.
come back and relearn some of that stuff was a little difficult, but eventually it started becoming muscle memory. And uh, some of the big moves that I take, I love taking.
What hobbies bring you joy outside of the ring?
uh, Singing, horse riding, and just spending time with my wrestling buddies because we'll go to the bar and hang out uh, after shows.
Let's see if that one. What is your favorite gear that you have ever had made?
Now, this one, it kind of sucks because I only have one set of gear.
Okay.
Uh, I'm having some new gear made. The gear that I, the new gear that I had made, unfortunately, was not what I envisioned, and my top was a little too big, so I have to send that back to get it to where it actually fits. But I'm gonna look at somebody new to hopefully get me the vision that I was looking for.
And then where can they find you on social media?
So I have my Mindy Grace page on Facebook. You can also find me at SHIT Mindy Grace um, on Instagram, and that stands for Sugar Honey Iced Tea, superhero in training. And then I do have a little TikTok as well under Mindy Grace 23, I believe. And then I also do have YouTube under Sweet as Tea Mindy Grace.
And then, okay, we already answered that. And thank you, Mindy, for being on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I know that was a little fast.
You're good. There, and then thanks to the sponsors of Wrestling Evolution, TBD Wrestling, Apple City Championship Wrestling, and then guys, as I've said in every episode, um, we are doing a t-shirt contest for the fans and wrestlers. So all you gotta do is sign up to be in it. All you gotta do is put your Instagram, your name, what shirt size, and what shirt design you want. There's two separate ones for the fans and the wrestlers. So then we can have two winners. And then I'm not basically picking a wrestler over a fan. Um, so then, yeah,
That's cool. That's a fun idea.
yes. Because we had a professional company make the t-shirts. So
Fun.
if you guys see me at shows, they are also available at shows just because, depending on the shirts. Alrighty. And then thank you again for being on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.